Hey everyone, welcome back to Taste Without a Face, your recipe place. Today we're making a dessert that's as cozy as your favorite sweater, caramel apple crisp bars. These bars are full of warm spices, caramel drizzle, and the perfect crunch, making them the ultimate treat. Whether baking for a gathering or just treating yourself, this recipe will make your kitchen smell incredible. So let's dive in. We love sharing delicious recipes with you, but we also want to ensure your safety. Please note that some of our recipes may include common allergens such as nuts, dairy, gluten, soy, eggs, seafood, sesame, citrus. While we strive to provide clear ingredient lists and instructions, cross-contamination can occur. If you have severe allergies, please take the necessary precautions and consult with a healthcare professional before trying our recipes. Thank you for watching and cooking with us. Stay safe and enjoy your culinary adventures. For the crust, we'll be using 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 1/4 cup of packed brown sugar, 1/2 cup of melted unsalted butter and a pinch of salt. For the apple filling use, 3 to 4 medium apples, Granny Smith or Honeycrisp work well. Make sure they are peeled and diced. 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and 2 tablespoons of flour to thicken the filling. For the crisp topping we will need 1/2 cup of old-fashioned oats, 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of packed brown sugar, 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1/4 cup of unsalted butter, cold and cubed. For the caramel drizzle we'll need 1/4 cup of caramel sauce. This can be store-bought or homemade. It's the finishing touch that takes these bars to the next level. Step 1. Making the crust. In a mixing bowl, combine 1 cup of flour, 1/4 cup each of granulated and brown sugar, and 1/2 cup of melted butter. Add a pinch of salt, then mix it all up until you get a crumbly texture. Press this into a lined 8x8 baking pan, and bake it for about 12 to 15 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, until it's golden. This crust will give our bars a delicious, buttery base. Tip alert: alternative ingredient choices can be used as substitutes for flour and butter due to dietary restrictions or preferences. For flour, a 1-to-1 gluten-free flour blend can be used instead of all-purpose flour for both the crust and the topping. You can also substitute half the all-purpose flour with almond flour for a nuttier flavor and a little extra protein. For butter, use vegan butter or coconut oil for the crust and topping. If using coconut oil, note it will add a slight coconut flavor. Apple sauce can also be used for a lower fat alternative. Replace half the butter with unsweetened apple sauce. Step 2. Prepare the apple filling. Take 3 to 4 medium apples, peel and dice them. I like to use a mix of Granny Smith and Honeycrisp for that balance of tart and sweet. Add 2 tablespoons of sugar, a teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, and a hint of ground cloves. Add a teaspoon of vanilla extract and 2 tablespoons of flour to help thicken it up. Stir until the apples are fully coated. Tip alert: if you're out of some spices, a pumpkin spice blend, cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, ginger, will still give the dessert a warm, cozy flavor. Add a pinch of ground cardamom for a unique, fragrant twist that complements apple flavors well. To substitute apples, use ripe pears or a mix of apples and pears for a slightly different flavor and texture. If you want a mixed fruit dessert, add a handful of cranberries or blueberries for a pop of tartness and color. Step 3. Make the crisp topping. For the topping, we're going with an oat crumble. In another bowl, mix 1/2 cup of oats, 1/2 cup of flour, 1/4 cup each of brown sugar and granulated sugar, and a little cinnamon for extra warmth. Then, add in 1/4 cup of cold, cubed butter, and use a fork to mix until it gets that nice, crumbly texture. Now it's time to put it all together. Tip alert: for sugar, substitute half the sugar in the apple filling with honey or maple syrup for a richer flavor. You can also use maple syrup in the crust for an extra hint of flavor. You can also swap brown sugar with coconut sugar for a less refined, subtly caramel-like sweetness. Instead of oats, you can use crushed walnuts or pecans in their place in the topping. This also adds a nice, crunchy texture. If you'd like to use oats but you're out of old-fashioned oats, quick oats work too, though the texture may be slightly softer. Step 4. Assemble and bake. Take your crust and spread the apple filling evenly over it. Then sprinkle the crisp topping on top of the apples. Pop it back in the oven and bake for 35 to 40 minutes or until the topping is golden brown and the apples are tender. Once it's out of the oven and cooled, drizzle caramel sauce over the top for that sweet, gooey finish. And there you have it, caramel apple crisp bars. You can enjoy them as is or add a scoop of vanilla ice cream if you're feeling extra indulgent. Tip alert: you can substitute the caramel sauce by using a dairy-free option. A coconut milk-based caramel sauce would be a vegan-friendly option. You could also go with a salted date caramel sauce. Blend pitted dates with a splash of warm water, vanilla, and a pinch of salt for a refined sugar-free caramel substitute. This caramel apple crisp dessert pairs wonderfully with a range of drinks. Hot apple cider, maple pecan latte, mulled wine, chai tea latte, vanilla bean milk, or a spiked apple toddy. These caramel apple crisp bars are the perfect winter or fall dessert. They're warm, cozy, and absolutely delicious. If you give this recipe a try, let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to Taste Without a Face, your recipe place for more cozy recipes, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a new video. Thanks for watching, and happy baking! See you next time, on Taste Without a Face, your recipe place.